everybody to the third episode of Chronically Online. What's good? This is a podcast for adults by adults. My name is Swillow. I'll be the host for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our co-host. You already know them, but for the new viewers out there, go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys.
Hello, I'm Art. I like to fart. This is Chronically Online. Next.
Hey, I'm Lilac. It's my birthday special, so I'm 25. Ayo, let's go.
What's better than 24?
25.
25.
Hello, my name's Momo. I'm just taking my hair down still, as always.
All right, beautiful. And then we'll cut Sonny's in because he's not here yet because he's late.
I think he messaged me saying he wasn't going to be here today.
No, he just hit me up and I convinced him to get his fucking lazy ass out of bed, which he's been laying in all day, and he's brushing his teeth right now, and then he'll be on the podcast.
Hey, we won't have to smell his stanky breath through his microphone.
Thank God.
Brush your teeth, first of all.
Right. It's been quite some time since he sent that.
He ain't brushing his teeth. He probably brushing his ass.
I'm gonna go message him like, you done braiding it, bro?
Still better than some, like, fucking straight dudes who think that if they wash their ass, they're gay.
That is pretty gay.
Do we want to talk about internalized homophobia and hygiene?
Oh, we gotta wait till Chris gets here.
Or just, like, internalized, like, toxic masculinity?
100%.
Fucking
Also, that was a
man
joke.
wipes compared to regular ass wet wipes.
Oh, no, I have a big fucking problem with that because I recently tried out man's wet wipes and they fucking like crumble just like toilet paper does.
Dude. Okay. Oh, maybe I shouldn't TMI. But when I'm having sexy time and he brings his wipes, I use my feminine wipes and they smell pretty and they are durable and they clean up things nice and they don't pill up when we're using them on our dangly parts.
Yep.
So,
bro, that's
Not the
always
dangly
like
part.
the scariest fucking thing when somewhere has like super cheap toilet paper and you've got stubble on your cooch and you're like, I'm gonna shred this toilet paper and then it's gonna be awful. Bidets for life, everyone. Get a bidet.
For sure, yes, bidet, which, yes. And also, I would just like to share a little tidbit of my culture and my background. This is a restroom related thing, so it's not that interesting, but growing up, coming from like an Islamic background, you always have to be cleanly in order to pray. And so in the restroom next to the toilet is a watering can like you would use for plants, and you use that to wash your privates. So like I've always had a washed ass since I was out the womb.
You hear
All right,
that?
continue.
Certified. How do you work the bidet? Because like I've seen those. I mean, we live together, so like I've seen the watering can bidet. How do you even get it on the butthole?
So okay, since you have left, my oldest brother, when he came down to visit, he installed an actual bidet in the back bathroom, which is the one that I use now. So, like, it's just a lever, and it does everything for you because you connect it to the water line. The bidet, like the watering can, in Urdu, we call it a lota, and you just fill it up with water, and you pick it up, and you pour it front and behind, and you wash, and then you wipe.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Do you wipe with toilet paper?
Yeah.
How do you avoid the crumbles of toilet paper? Like that's the literal problem with toilet paper.
You get a good toilet paper.
Yeah.
What's your go-to?
And if you're like washing with water beforehand, it reduces the chances of the pilling too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because then you're just kind of like pat and dry. You're not having to like actually,
True.
Correct.
True.
So what she was saying was like, so like so our bodily excrement at the end of the day, it is fluid and solid, and when you pour water on it, it cleans up most of it. So when you wipe it, you're essentially patting it dry and like making sure it's just extra clean.
I just be spraying Windex down there.
Okay. Next topic.
All right, Sonny, go ahead and introduce yourself. Everybody, Sonny has joined the podcast. He was a little late, but it's okay. We forgive him. Sonny, introduce yourself.
Good morning. Just woke up.
It's 5 p.m.
It's actually 2 p.m. for me.
Okay, well.
You're still not morning.
That morning for me.
Okay.
Have you had breakfast?
No.
How long do you brush your teeth for, Sonny?
It takes me a while. Sometimes like 3 minutes. I also drink a lot of water, so it takes me a while to pee.
He was washing his ass. I told
You
you.
were washing your ass, weren't you?
We predicted it right on the money.
Nah, I have a bidet, but I haven't really washed my ass yet.
Yet? How are you on the podcast? How you brush your teeth but come to the podcast with stank ass?
He
'Cause
probably
I haven't
hasn't
shit yet.
his shit today.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
exactly.
How do you... She's a psychic. When am I going to
Think
poop
people
next?
just go and sit on the bidet to just wash their ass without taking a shit first?
Why
That'd be
not?
a good way to wake up. Yeah, make sure your ass is clean at all times.
It's like you sprinkle a little water on your face and a little bit on your butthole. You get energy from both ends.
Exactly.
From
Exactly.
If I want my ass to be clean, I'm gonna shower first.
True.
But that's a lot of work, though. Sometimes you just need your ass clean because the rest is clean. Like, what if you
I
took a
respect
shower last night, but you want to make sure your ass is clean from the sweat
Wait.
and possibly your
Whoa,
night fart?
your ass is a little
whoa. Wait, pause. Hygiene thing here. She said, what if you took a shower last night? Open up Google and look up how much we perspirate in our sleep and why taking a shower in the morning is a hygienic thing to do.
I mean, to be fair, I take a shower midday because I ain't got time either in the morning or night.
I'm gonna be real. I take showers at night because with my heat dysregulation, I get crash hardcore, super exhausted after a shower.
Mhm.
So if I take a shower in the morning, I'm dead for the rest of the day. So I have to do it before bed.
Question: do you have a shower chair?
I do have a shower chair. For me, it's mainly the temperature dysregulation. So I have to. I can't take hot showers. I have to take cold showers, or I faint. And it is just switching from the temperatures is really hard on my heart because my heart is already having to pump faster than most people's. Like my resting heart rate is like 102.
Oh, shit.
So when I'm in the shower, that bumps up to the 130s and then I faint. So it exhausts me. It's like when I take a shower, it's like I'm running a marathon.
Have you hurt yourself in the shower from fainting?
Yes, I have. I actually worked. This isn't while in the shower, but I worked at a hotel as a maid for 3 days. I quit because I was cleaning the shower, stood up, fainted, and gave myself a concussion by hitting my head on the toilet.
Oh my
Went
god.
down. Yeah.
How awful.
What does a concussion feel like?
Painful?
Like,
my brain was just getting zippy zap.
Do your thoughts start to like get jumbled and stuff?
I smoke so much weed that I don't know whether it was the concussion or the weed. If you've ever taken an SSRI and then come off the SSRI, like an antidepressant, you get what's like brain zaps, basically. That's what a concussion felt like for me.
Oh, I hate that.
Wait, what? You get pain in your brain from coming off of antidepressants?
Yeah, if you don't taper yourself off, you get brain zaps, which is just your brain basically sending improper signals and just electrocuting you.
See, I don't know if I've ever gotten that, but I assumed it was cluster headaches where sometimes there would just be like a shooting pain on like the side of my head, but it would go away after like a couple of pulses. Mm-hmm. Is that exactly what that is?
That's how it felt like for me. Yeah.
Whoa. I think I already have brain zaps.
You do have brain zaps, for sure.
Bitch. Hey, look. Okay.
Marinos.
That's actually a good thing to talk about because we haven't actually said like how we all know each other, and I know that one of Momo's watchers were mentioning they would want to know that. So, for the viewers out there, we're recording from a Discord, Virtually Underground. Shout out to the owner. We actually just hit 300 members yesterday, y'all. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yep. And so Artemisia, that is my bestest friend in the whole wide world. I've known her since I was like 12, 13. I love that bitch. Grew up with her, lived with her. That's my bestie. Miss Westy. All right. Lilac, I met her in Discord. I also met Sonny and Momo. Well, actually, no, I know Momo quite some time too. I think I met Momo. Momo, did we ever roleplay on Shinobi Legends?
I don't think so, to be honest. I don't know how, but I think we met through like the Discord that was made.
Yeah. What was your character on there?
Kimiko Sune.
Yep. Yeah, I never roleplayed with you, but I totally ripped off your bio one time. It's a good bio. It's a good bio template. So that's how I know Momo. I met her through the Discord. And then I met Sonny through music. He helped me. He made a whole fucking track for me but I didn't release it because I didn't like the lyrics on it. And like I have this thing where once I hear a track once, and if I don't spit on it then and there, hakta, it's not gonna work out. So I don't do it. So I moved on. But Sonny's a great producer. Check his music out. Say something, Sonny.
Don't say no.
Okay. And then I know Lilac. I met her, I think, a little bit like mid last year. When did I meet you, Lilac? Actually, no. I feel like I met you in J server.
Yeah. Let me tell you the story of how that came to be, because this was a wild, unexpected thing for me. I was bored one day, sitting at home smoking weed, being like, okay, I'm bored and I don't want to sit here alone smoking weed because I feel like a loser when I smoke alone. So I just joined the first stoner Discord I could find. Sat in VC just as a lurker, dead silent, because there was so much random drama and bullshit going on 24/7 that I just would sit there and smoke, amused as hell by these people in the Discord. And then Swillow came in and was like, hey, you start talking, let's hang out. And I was like, bet. And there we go.
I'm not gonna lie, I have no recollection of that.
Yeah, it was you, Apple, and Glitter that kind of just were like, hey, stop being a weird lurker and hang out. And I was like, bet.
R.I.P. to both Glitter and Apple. Man.
What happened to Glitter?
Hey, I have a challenge for everybody, just for levity's sake. Everyone hold out your tongue and say apple.
Apple. Apple. Apple.
Listen, I went to a public middle school. I know what you're trying to do.
Apple.
I knew it. I knew it.
That's like looking down your shirt and spelling attic.
Wait, what? ADDIC.
Yeah, look down your shirt and spell attic.
Oh, no.
ADDICT.
Yeah, attic, like the thing above
like
your
attic.
house.
Oh, ADDIC.
Hey,
Alright.
spell ICUP, guys. Spell ICUP.
ICUP? Oh.
There's another where if you like bend down or bend over and look between your legs, you spell run.
Oh.
Did you know you can't press both your elbows to your belly button at the same time?
Hey,
Wait, I just did it.
she's strange. She's a contortionist. I forgot to tell you guys. That was her past life. I picked her up from a circus originally when we first met. I felt bad for this little contortionist girl because she couldn't touch her elbows to her whatever the fuck. And that's how we came to be.
Yep, that's facts. You can Google it.
But anyway, thanks for calling me a bitch, because bitch is a dog, and dogs are part of nature, and nature is beautiful. So thank you for calling me beautiful.
I unironically said that in middle school.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
I have never heard that before. For a second, I thought you were dead ass serious.
I thought she was too.
Oh my god, no, it's like a thing. That was the thing. Since we were on the topic of shit we did as kids.
Speaking of, have y'all ever tried to make yourself pass out by I think it was they spun you around, or you had to go up, you have to move your body up and down super fast while breathing out, have you ever? No.
She said, "Have you ever tried to become a human boppet?" For no reason whatsoever. Same. Honestly, that's so valid.
Oh no, I think it was what you do is they would push you up against the wall, you would bend over, and they would tell you to breathe super rapidly.
Pause.
I'm sorry. What school
They would
did you
put
go
you up
to?
against the wall
Right.
and tell you to bend you
Your
over.
back, all right. Your back was facing the wall. You're right. Let me be clear on that.
Was your back against the wall, or
Yes, your back against the wall. And you bend over, you breathe super heavily, and then someone forces you upright super, super quick. And because of the pressure changes in your brain, you pass out.
Oh my goodness.
sounds like a good time, in my opinion.
All right. See, I knew it. I knew somebody in here would have wanted to do it. You little freaks. Ugh. Also, there was a challenge where you would it was the eraser challenge, and you would erase your skin while doing the alphabet backwards and saying a word for each letter.
That was so painful. Some boy tried to do that to me at recess and he got suspended.
Did anyone do
As
the
you
salt
should.
and ice challenge?
Yeah.
Because I gave myself a little scar from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
That's the one thing I didn't do because I was
Ice
just
and the salt.
Yeah, that's the one thing I did the whole, like, I have all my fingers, the knife goes chop, chop, chop.
I love that game.
Yep. I actually had a scar on my hand for a couple years because I did it with a mechanical pencil and fucking got the shit out of my thumb.
Thank goodness you didn't get lead poisoning. Well, maybe you did. You know, actually, that would explain
The brain zaps.
Yeah, the brain zaps.
Were asphyxiating because of fucking the like cinnamon challenge.
Oh my goodness, and the nutmeg challenge. All those YouTube challenges with the spices. Oh.
See, I'm actually lucky. Okay, me and my sister recorded us doing the cinnamon challenge, but like it didn't work for me, so I just faked it.
You should look up what happens when you eat too much nutmeg.
Remove Meg, and I know the answer to that question.
Oh,
I have a friend of mine who likes
you're a child.
cornstarch.
Cornstarch.
That's pica. That's because they have a deficiency of I forget what they have a deficiency for, but eating cornstarch, particularly like pregnant women or women who are expecting or who have some sort of vitamin deficiency are the ones who eat cornstarch.
Yeah, I had that happen when I was pregnant with my son, where it's just when I was around like cornstarch or baby powder. I didn't eat it, but the smell of it made my mouth water. I'm like, ugh, like, I don't know why it's, but now I know.
I don't even have pica, but like the smell of baby powder just makes my mouth water too.
Don't do it. Please don't do it. I had like a SpongeBob moment for a good while when I was pregnant, but it's gone now.
What was like the weirdest pregnancy cravings you've gotten? Oh my God, I am streaming my Facebook. Let me stop streaming. My bad.
I don't think I had like too many weird pregnancy cravings. I think the only thing was just I just ate a lot of pickles. That's all it was. Mashed potatoes. Like I think I craved mashed potatoes more than anything. I couldn't really eat too much because they were like, "Oh, it's gonna harm the baby. It's gonna harm the baby." But
you can't have deli meats either, which is gonna be the hardest thing when I have a kid one day because I live off of Subway.
Hell yeah! What do you get from Subway? What's your regular order?
Okay, spicy Italian on Italian urban cheese. Basically, every veggie that they have, just cram that shit on there, toasted with extra fucking cheese, pepper jack cheese. Of
Hell
course.
Yes! We love the same sandwich, except I don't get tomatoes on mine.
I don't get tomatoes
do you put like black olives on there?
And no olives either. No olives or tomatoes, but everything else.
Extra olives.
What the? Your band.
Okay, wait. So I'll let Swillow explain this for me. Swillow, tell them about olive dirty.
Okay, so there has been obviously from birth, me and Artemisia have not liked olives because we're normal people and we don't have fucked up taste buds and we're not evil. But
so you're saying lilac is evil?
No, that's
I am.
Also, please include why I kept continuously trying it. But okay, continue.
Oh man, you're putting a lot of lore pressure on me. Okay, I smoke a lot of weed.
You got it.
This is the lore. So, recently there have been some developments in Artemisia's life when it comes to olives. Is it? I think I think her man likes olives.
Oh, don't start there. Oh. Start from where you had just began with the whole we were born not liking olives.
Well, Art is brown.
Oh, okay. You know what? You're a terrible storyteller. I'm taking over. Okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I can't.
I come from an ethnic background, and I grew up. Yeah, but you said it in a racist way. I'm saying it in a politically correct way.
She's like, you're brown. It's like, oh God, here we go.
Well, anyways, and so I grew up eating a bunch of different foods, like, just ethnic household shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I could never wrap my mind around eating a tomato raw. However, I like tomatoes in every other form but raw. And olives, I wanted to like olives so bad because I loved the cartoon Tom and Jerry. Something that has always stood out to me about media in general, but like particularly animated media, is just like the artwork frame by frame. And Tom and Jerry put a lot of emphasis on the food and the detailing in the food. in the show, especially like the reruns of the older episodes. And there was always an olive on a sandwich, like the picture of like an olive on like a club sandwich on a toothpick to hold it all together.
Or an olive in a martini.
Yes,
Right.
correct. And I've always wanted to try one because in my household, in my culture, like we don't eat olives. We like it's just not something that people would go out their way to buy. So actually, one of my aunt's houses, we were having a gathering, and she had a veggie tray out with cheese, crackers, vegetables, and there actually happened to be olives there. And like I had never tried one in my life. It was a green olive. I'm not sure what type, but it had a pimento pepper in it, just like the olives that you see, on cartoon sandwiches and martinis, like Lilac had said. And I tried it so excitedly, hoping it tasted like a jalapeno or something, because I already knew I liked chilies. Pretty much in my mind, anything green tasted good.
Okay, but green olives are ass. That is fair.
Okay, so I see we're going to have a point of contention as I progress in this conversation. Okay. And the thing is, it's not like a point of contention necessarily. I love you too. It's just like, so our taste buds, I mean, how we perceive taste is, like according to science, is solely predicated upon the placement of our taste buds. So tying back into the whole thing, I tried it. It was disgusting. It was evil incarnate. I had cursed it and cast it from me into the fires of Mount Doom. Anyway.
As you should.
And I never tried an olive again. But when I was, I want to say around 12, 13, that is when I gave it another chance. And drawing back into the philosophy of why I kept trying to give olives and tomatoes chance after chance, because I come from a culture that heavily is very passionate about food, and I don't like that there are foods that I do not like. I do not like that there are foods that I cannot stomach because I so deeply want to. I want to taste what other people are tasting when they say, have a Mater sandwich, have a BLT, have a whatever the heck. So with my principle of wanting to be able to enjoy foods and giving them chance after chance, because your taste buds on your palate also change over time because they are functioning body parts that grow with you. And so I did some research. Essentially was like olives for dummies. Like, what's a good starter olive for someone who is trying to acclimate to the taste of olive? And so my search results gave me an olive by the name of Castelvetrano. They were described to have a buttery, almost meaty sort of flavor and like a really like firm bite to them, which I appreciate because not only did I not like olives for their sort of putrid, olivey, like almost rotten flavor, and I understand it's a fermented and like technically you can't even eat an olive unless it is fermented. So I looked it up and I got these olives because texturally I don't even like that some olives are like soft to the bite. And so I got these olives. I took one out of the jar and I bit into it. And at first, all I tasted was olive. But then I started chewing it and like I allowed myself to taste it. And it actually, to me, tasted like movie theater butter. And I shared this development with Swillow recently. Yep. And I actually recommended to her to try them because I do think, as someone who understands her food aversions very well, because she's not difficult to cook for, but when she really likes something, she wants to eat that same thing over and over again. And like introducing a new thing to her is like, you have to like wean her onto it. Yep. Essentially. She's a baby. Swillow's a baby. So
Mommy, give me Milkies?
I'm going to or you when I see you. I put a lot of stock behind essentially selling these Castelvetrano olives to her because I want to be able to share the experience of not having food aversions if you can avoid them.
And I feel that's so heavy because honestly, I felt that way with like the cherry tomatoes and Wendy's salads. Mm-hmm. Every time I got a salad, I look at those tomatoes like they look delicious, but they taste like ass. I eat ass.
What?
Yeah, I try foods that I hate like once every 3 years to try and test if I still hate it.
All of this to say, since trying Castelvetrano olives, I have been to Olive Garden since, and my mother challenged me to try a black olive from the salad that we always get, and it was just as disgusting as I remember it being. And I was excited to try it because in my mind I was like, yes, I trained. I like olives now. I ate this olive and I almost vomited right in front of her. Literally, like,
Oh no.
it was the worst experience I had ever had.
Oh no.
And I did some more research and I talked to my current partner, and he knows that I am a spicy girl. I'm a spice girl. I like
Spice queen.
peppers. Yes. And he recommended me jalapeno and garlic stuffed olives.
Ooh.
And so I found a brand. You know which one I'm speaking about, correct?
No, but those sound so fucking good.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna get us all canceled. We should all say the weird like food combos that we eat. I know y'all fuckers have some
yes.
soda
I
food
love
eat.
that.
Okay,
For
before we
sure.
do that, we should take a shot.
I don't have liquor, but I have twisted tea, so don't test me.
Don't hit us. No.
Mom?
But,
No, I'm just joking. My mom never hit me. My mom never hit me. It's just a joke. I swear to God.
But I hit her.
She does.
I made her bleed.
She did. That's not even a fucking joke, bro. I was
All
like,
over my
let's
floor.
play fight. Let's play fight. I'll be the little, like, I'll be the hands and you punch my hands. And she was like, okay. This bitch punched me into a wall and I cut my fucking Achilles heel on the fucking wood of that bitch. And it was bleeding everywhere, bro.
Talk shit, get hit.
Talk shit, get hit. Yeah, I probably was talking shit before that. I probably was. She's a real MMA fighter, y'all. Don't make Art mad. She gets scary.
I promise I'm not an abusive individual. I have practiced loving kindness in my years.
That's what they always say.
Oh, be quiet. You deserve it.
You know, honestly, I think the funniest story that I have
get
from
hit
when I
again,
lived
okay.
with you. Yeah, she's gonna hit me after I tell this story. My favorite story, there's obviously many, but the one that I think of the most in this moment is when not every night, but like pretty often around like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., I'll either go to Art or Art will go to me and be like, hey, you want to get like some snacks or like coffee or like some stuff from the gas station? And I'm always good for it. And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. But one night I was just sleepy. I was already in bed. Head hit the pillow, I'm tired. And around about 2 a.m., 3 a.m., I hear someone walking down the hallway and then knocking on my door. Knock, knock, knock. Swillow? Are you awake, Swillow? And like, I was awake. I never told you this, Art. I was awake. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get up and go to the gas station. And like you slowly opened my door just a little bit to peek in. And I felt like a little kid trying to pretend they were asleep from their mom. And then you're like, Swallow? Swallow? Okay. And then you close the door and then I just hear you sadly shuffling back to your room. And like, I felt bad, but also I was too tired, bro. I was too tired. But that was one of my favorite moments, honestly.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, you fucking jerk. I shall remember this and return it in kind.
That's the Achilles heel talking. And you already beat me once. Look.
Only beating you get us off, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Cheers to that. Hey.
But that's my olives before it got sidetracked by your fucking.
Wait, no. Now that I told a story, you have to tell a story. So, like, you see how hard it is to find a great story.
I was telling a
off the top of
story.
your head. What about me?
Oh, but like, no, wait till I'm finished. I'll beat you up.
All right. Okay. But
She's like, no, don't try to point the finger at me. This is your ego coming into play here, interrupting my story. It's my journey. Actually, this is a journey that I went on.
It is a testimony.
Realization.
You're right.
And you're
My
just
bad.
like, talk about me. Talk about me.
You're right. My bad. I'm sorry.
Honesty is
Please continue your testimony.
You see how she is? Like, this is like the mask is slipping.
Said, do that to me. All right. I'm going to take a shot, though. Let's take a shot real quick. Cheers to, how about this? Cheers to Lilac's birthday, everybody. It's Lilac's birthday today. Cheers to the birthday girl. Cheers.
Happy birthday.
Hey, Happy birthday. Here's the Chord Crises.
Hey.
Yeah, my joy with olive came because, like, my dad used to have little dinner parties, and family would have dinner parties, and we'd always put out, like, a little tray of olives, and my dad would make his homemade artichoke dip, and I would take the olives, I would spear them on my fingers, and I would have alien fingers that I would be artichoke dip and then eat them with my hands. And it was disgusting because I was a little kid. It tasted amazing, and now I just love olives and artichokes.
That gives me trauma. I had a step family, and they ate olives all the time, and they would put them on their fingers, and then they'd put them in my face and be like, "You want one? You want one? Smell it. Doesn't it look good?" And yeah, so I have trauma about putting olives on fingers.
Ew.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people, like, chase kids with things they're scared of. Like, people who would chase kids with, like, shit, like, why?
My sister, okay, so there was a phase at one point where, y'all know the phobia of, like, holes and stuff?
Trypophobia?
Yes. Yeah, what's Sunny said?
It's called trichotillomania.
Oh, that's not trichotillomania. Yes, it is trichotillomania. And
Trypophobia.
All right, you two. All right, you guys have to square off whichever one it is. Is it trypophobia or trichotillomania?
Trypophobia.
I'm not gonna look it up. I was gonna like type in what it is, but looking it up, I have the same phobia and I don't want to be triggered. So tryphobia. Let's just say that.
I made it up.
I trusted you.
You don't trust me. I'm gonna be funny.
There goes Sonny in the game.
Like who would actually say the whole thing? Trichotillomania. Like, come on. That was your gullibility, honestly. Like that ain't my fault, Chief.
I just wanted to believe you. You should still
believe in me. Like I'm great still. I just you got caught.
Damn it. Okay, yeah, so anyways, I went through a phase where I had that phobia, and I'm walking through a flower store with my sister and my mom, and I tell my sister about this because it's a new development, and she starts chasing me around the store with like this weird honeycomb on a stick thing, to the point where my mom literally had to yell at me. I wish my sister was here though, because she can't really defend herself from that story. But if you're listening to this, Chris Liss, fuck you.
She said,
"Damn.
I wish my sister was here so I could put her on trial."
Who's the judge?
Okay, never mind.
I was the youngest sibling of so I can judge.
But what were you
I know mean older siblings better than anyone.
Honestly, you be giving judge vibes. But the real question is, who's the executioner?
Well, for me, for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Momo is the security guard that stands next to the thing, you know?
She'd just be scrolling on her phone like, yep, check, pass.
Exactly. Like I'm doing.
And Sonny's the one on trial.
Where's Sonny?
Yeah, who wants to fucking take me in a tight battle? I bet you won't.
Exactly. I bet Sonny won't.
I bet you won't, bitch.
I will, actually.
Post up.
T1. Let me pull it up right now. Let me pull up a words per minute tester right now. Let's see this bitch.
Are you gonna have me fighting everybody?
So I was like, I just want a hug.
All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Start text.
3.
I see you.
So anyway, podcast, Chronically Online crew and family. While they are doing their nerd shit, I'm going to continue on my spiel about my olive journey. So, I had arrived at the conclusion that the Casablanca olives are very tasty, and that the jalapeno and garlic stuffed olives were just okay. They were just okay. So I am still in my green olive phase. And when Lilac is done with her text battle, we shall have our debate of the black olive versus the green olive.
Boom. My test results are 74 words per minute.
46 words per minute.
Mine are just not loading.
I'm pretty sure if you break the test, it means you're trash.
It's just not loading.
I feel like I automatically win.
Win goes to Swallow.
You heard it.
Look, it just doesn't show up.
It just could not would because it did not.
Looks like you're sitting at about 70 per minute based on the graph.
Oh my god, I think you won. Actually, I think you won. That's crazy.
So anyways, the green olive. From the topic of olives about the weird food combinations, I actually want to start with that. Because,
Let's go, because I got some shit that's going to make you not want to be my friend anymore.
All right, let's go.
Take the floor.
Hit us with it.
Okay, so let's start off. This one is kind of normal. Pickles and peanut butter, good combo. Goated combo.
I like those.
Never had it.
Never had it.
Yeah.
What is it like? What do you get out of that? Like, how does the peanut butter complement the pickle?
So the sweet creaminess of the peanut butter pairs really well with the kind of salty vinegariness of the pickle. It's kind of like, when you dice up pickles to put in like a tuna salad, how like the creaminess of the tuna salad pairs really well with it. It's like that, but add a little bit of sweetness from the peanuts.
Think of it from like the lens of like a peanut sauce. Like in Asian cuisine, peanut sauces are used as like a condiment.
Yeah, I mean, I understand because I have had some Thai dishes, but even then, I never was the biggest fan of the peanut flavor because I also think it adds this like a thicker texture that I'm also not a huge fan of. Almost like a little bit of a grittiness.
That's what's nice about pickles and peanut butter is the like vinegar in the pickles breaks down that peanut butter, so it's a lot smoother.
I can understand the textural component though, putting you off. Like Swallow definitely has like a textural thing when it comes to food. I think for you, like textures for a while were like a really big thing for you.
Yes, very much.
She likes a very uniform texture with her food.
I mean, yeah, like the only times I do like a contrasting texture is if it's like coleslaw or like a cold and warm or like a sweet and salty, but like I do not like chewy and I don't like gritty.
Right. So like when she was here, like rice in my culture is usually typically flavored with, like cumin seed, fried curry leaves, and things of that nature. And I think she liked the rice itself, but I think texturally, like the curry leaf, the fried curry leaf, and the cumin seeds
makes it kind of like sticky-ish, but like not like dislike sticky rice, but like it's hard to kind of explain. It almost hardens the rice a little bit while keeping it sticky, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like there's like the rice itself is cooked perfectly, but the cumin seeds and the leaf like give you this contrast of texture from the soft fluffy rice that I think definitely threw her off a bit. I think she feels similarly about like whole wheat bread with like seeds in it.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I hate raspberries and blackberries because the tiny seeds get stuck in my molars. Exactly. And I want to kill myself every time.
Like, I don't even fuck with blueberries because of that.
Thing is, I don't know, I guess because of, I guess that does make sense because I grew up eating like rice like that and like things with very much textural contrast that like I like things like preserves and like berries. I do.
I love the flavor. It's the texture.
Huh?
Art, what ethnicity are you?
I am half Pakistani and half white American. I was born here in Brockton, Massachusetts, and I currently reside in Florida.
I thought you were Hispanic because you said rice. And then Swillow said you're brown, so I was like, she must be
no,
Hispanic.
unfortunately, no habla español.
¿Por qué no las dos?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm not sure.
I have an even cursed combo if you guys want to hate me.
Please do, because I've been over here sitting like, what is my combination? I can't think of it.
Swillow's pretty milquetoast when it comes to food.
So you make some macaroni and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Make some mac and cheese. And then you mix some hand-ground brown mustard. Just like a tablespoon worth. Into your mac and cheese. Fucking fire. Everyone who's ever seen me put mustard in my macaroni and cheese has told me that they hate me a little bit more.
And I love mustard.
Wait, you've had that, Art? I've never tried that ever.
The thing is, okay, so I really enjoy food, and conceptually, I can see how that would work. Not only from like she said hand ground mustard, which is different from like your standard yellow mustard. Hand ground mustard is more gritty and it has a more like mustard forward flavor. Like it's almost bitter in a way. And with the macaroni, with the macaroni and cheese, I can see how that would work because there's such thing as like macaroni salad, which typically is made with just like mayonnaise or like dressing. But like, and also like the way that I make a really good home style baked mac and cheese, I make it from scratch and I cook the cheese sauce. Like I make the roux with the flour and I season it with spices and cayenne pepper and garlic, and it gives it like that little kick. So like cheese with some sort of like sharp element, kind of like a stone ground, hand ground mustard, I can see why that would work because the sharpness of the mustard actually enhances the sharpness of the cheese.
Okay. Momo, do you have any weird food combinations?
Not really that I can think of. I mean, the only thing I do is just ketchup and mayo together with French fries.
Stop. I was going to say the literal same thing. That's so funny.
I mean, that's like the only basic thing. And I mean, when I make ramen noodles, I put like cheese in it, and that's about it.
Oh, that's
but
good.
I don't think that's like a strange combination.
Okay, what about like a struggle meal? Because like I've literally had just 2 pieces of bread and some ketchup and microwaved it before, and it was okay.
I used to do like the beans with like hot dogs in it.
Just a tortilla with whatever sauce I have in the fridge on it.
My mom used to call those wish sandwiches because you wished it was something else.
Damn.
Hey, the struggle. Hey, everybody can share the struggle. All right, you ever have a struggle meal? What's your favorite struggle meal?
I would call them lazy meals, honestly. Just because, like, me personally, I can make something out of nothing. Like that, okay. I want to say is a skill that, not even like a skill, like, I just feel like it's like an intuition almost. Like, you could give me the bare minimum and I can, I can chef it up pretty easily. So, like, for me, I think it would be a matter of minimal effort.
That would actually be a fire like YouTube series where like you take like we all give you like 5 to 6 ingredients and you have to make do with that and make a meal for it.
Yeah, that's a really, so like in the foodie side of like YouTube, they make there's a bunch of content food content makers that like do things like that. Okay. But like I think for me it would probably just be like ramen with some hot sauce in it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of spicy ramen, I recently tried the buldak noodles. Oh, and like this is the fucked up part. I was gifted those noodles and no one told me that they were spicy. Oh, I was told that they were carbonara noodles, so like cheesy and creamy. Mm-hmm. And so I just put the red sauce thinking, oh, this is like flavoring, because I also eat tonkatsu noodles and you put chili in there and it's no problem. I took one bite and immediately got a stomach ache and was like, no way. How, who, and why? Like, I texted my boyfriend immediately. I was like, why didn't you tell me?
Would you believe that that's their most mild flavor, too?
Yeah.
I can't. I genuinely can't. Like, I couldn't eat more than a couple of bites, and I genuinely felt sick. I was like, okay, like, I will get sick if I keep eating this.
Yeah, and honestly, the bulldog, I don't personally care for them because they always have this, like, capsaicin-y, like... So, like, a lot of the spiciness that comes in these, like, extra spicy flavored things is actually from capsaicin concentrate, which is like it is how you measure the Scovilles and how hot a pepper is.
Okay.
It is literally the rawest, purest form of spice. It has no flavor. It's just spice. And it's like spice in liquid form.
I don't like that.
And the only flavor it does have is like this undertone of almost like a plasticky undertone.
Yeah, I actually do see what you're saying.
Yeah, and the bulldog noodles, the flavoring that comes with them, the oils and stuff, there's always this capsaicin-y, plasticky undertone to them. That's why I don't like them. I always go for the noodles that have like chili powder.
Mm-hmm. That's what tonkatsu has, and I fuck with that. Sonny, you have any weird food combinations?
No, I just really like soggy cereal.
Ew.
Oh.
What do you mean, ew?
Do you eat it with your hand?
No, I eat it with a spoon. Or with a fork.
You said fork? I knew it. I knew you were a fucking a cereal fork eater. I knew it. I was like writing down notes the other day about what I thought Sonny was, and that was the third one.
Writing down notes.
Get it? Yep. Cereal killer. All right.
Yeah, I just let it simmer in the milk for a bit. And then I just start digging.
No. You Love agree? It. Lila, you agree?
Wait. I'm sorry. What?
Are you agreeing?
I think I just cereal? Blocked that out. No, soggy. Wait, it depends on the cereal.
What cereal you eat, Sonny?
99% of cereal, no.
I like all. I mean, I like pretty much all cereals.
What did you have recently?
Raisin Bran.
What?
Raisin Bran is hella good. Also, it's really good soggy.
It is.
Do you also like Chex Mix cereal?
I do like Chex Mix, yeah, and I like that soggy as well.
Gross.
I like.
No, not gross.
Thing is, I like Raisin Bran and Chex Mix, but like I'll add sugar to it. so like it would justify eating it.
They're already loaded in sugar.
But yeah, but like it still needs like a little, just like a half a teaspoon, just to like sweeten the milk up a little bit.
Those are trash. The only acceptable bland cereals are Honey Nut Cheerios and White Rice Krispies.
That's funny because
Rice Krispies soggy are also amazing.
I will give you. Wait, you said Cheerios? I can't trust you anymore. I don't think we could ever, but I really can't trust you now.
I just told you, I hate Cheerios. Yeah, I hate Honey Nut Cheerios. But I do like this cereal that is called Honey O's. It comes in a yellow box, and it's actually like you've had those Honey O's?
Yes, those are fantastic.
With the little like grains in the center.
Yes,
and they're like almost.
Oh, you cut out?
She got too excited. Mike cut out.
Right, she got taken into the abyss.
The Honey O cereal has like almost like a maple syrupy like Eggo cereal flavor to it. Yeah, I love those.
And we're like honeycomb. I like honeycomb. But honestly, if we're talking bland, the plain Rice Krispies, that's the most fire with a little bit of sugar.
A little bit of sugar, yeah. Yeah, those are good.
I can't do Rice Krispies because I got food poisoning from Rice Krispies as a kid.
Oh.
What? How?
So here's a evil stepmother story.
Oh.
So my stepmom, 1 year around Christmas time, she was an extreme couponer. So she would buy stuff and keep it in our pantry for like 10 years and never eat it. And she found these make your own gingerbread house kits, but it was make your own Rice Krispie treat houses for like Christmas kind of theme. And she gave them to me and my brother as a prank, knowing that they were 3 years expired. And so we made them and ate them, and I was violently ill for like 4 days afterwards. And now I can't even smell a Rice Krispie treat without wanting to vomit, which sucks because most good edibles are made with Rice Krispies.
That kind of sounds like attempted murder.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
What?
I mean, she used to chase me around the house with a fucking taser, dude.
What? Why?
It's a prank, bro.
Stop. Are you serious?
Dead serious. She had this cane, this taser cane. And if me or my brother were caught outside of our bedroom after our, allotted, we had time frames that we were allowed in and out of our bedrooms and in the communal spaces in the house. Oh. And if we were outside of our rooms, outside of those designated meal times, then she would chase us back to our room with the taser cane and laugh about it. And, it was supposed to be some big prank. And then I told my therapist about it 2 years ago, and he's like, buddy, that wasn't a prank. That's trauma. And I was like, oh, okay.
Holy shit. That's a lot to unpack. Wow.
I mean, last week I told you guys that I shit on my brother's floor so that way people wouldn't know that I masturbated.
Shout out to episode 2. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. There's some great stories.
My family's fucking crazy.
Well, happy birthday, Lilac. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Lilac. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Oh, thank you.
I need a soundtrack in here.
Yeah.
Or soundboard.
Ooh, we should set up a soundboard at some point.
I think we have a soundboard. I just have it muted. All I know is that there's one called Backshots. What is that?
Please don't.
Hey, yo.
Okay.
I have to head out. I'll see you guys.
Sonny, say goodbye to the viewers.
Unfortunately, the night calls. I must go to my duties.
He's got to go wash his ass.
Have fun.
Later.
Villain.
Good day.
Later, dude.
Enjoy it.
I won't. Bye.
I hate you.
All right.
If you want us to abuse Swillow, click like and subscribe.
I'm afraid they're going to do it anyways, but please do it for my own sake.
Not Swillow going on adult and liking and subscribing.
Maybe I do like it.
What's your weird food combo?
I like original Kraft mac and cheese over any other mac and cheese to exist. So
see, that's not
thick and creamy.
That's not a weird combination. That's just controversial
opinion. You're right.
Statement.
Okay. Okay. Let me dig deeper. I'll dig deeper. Dig a tunnel. Dig a tunnel. Dig a tunnel. What was that? Quick before the hyenas come. I will put soda in my mouth mid-chew.
That's pretty gross.
And I think it's actually quite delicious. I like to have the drink in my mouth while I eat. Is that a gross food combination?
That's pretty gross, actually. I like to drink it after I've eaten something.
Nah, see, I will completely conjoin my plate into one bite, no matter what it is. Like, I just like to, like, play with flavors, and, like, once it gets to the end, I'll just do a big, like, pile of all the food. Or, you know, sometimes, you guys want gross combinations? It's not a combination, but it's gross. One time, well, for a couple times when I got McDonald's chicken nuggets, I would peel off the skin and eat the skin first, and then eat the chicken nugget.
I would do that with grapes. I would eat the skin of the grape first and then eat the grape.
Whoa, no, because the grape skin's the worst part.
Yeah, but I just wanted the grape by itself, so that's why I peeled the skin.
Oh, but did you eat the skin?
Sometimes, on other times I wouldn't.
Okay, that's diabolical, eating just the skin.
It's just so random.
Well, it's not my fault you like eating the shell of the chicken nugget.
All right, bitch. All right, go ahead, Momo. All right.
So, how do you guys like to eat your Kit Kat bars? Because I have a friend who eats hers pretty weird for some reason, and she thinks it's the best thing ever.
I think it's the chocolate off first. I bite the sides. I bite the underside. I break it in half, and then I separate the wafer, and then I eat the chocolate off the wafer, and then I eat the wafer last.
Yep, that's exactly what I do. She already knows. That's how you deconstruct a Nutter Butter, so I just do the same to the Kit Kat.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can find the video, but she somewhat does it similar in a sense, but I was like, I have to, disown you as a friend because I think that's the most disrespectful way to eat a Kit Kat bar in my life. But okay, let's see. Actually, not a Kit Kat, but a Snickers bar. The way she ate the Snickers.
Oh, I don't really like Snickers.
She's gonna get mad at me, but she posted it on TikTok, so it's for everybody.
What's her name? Shout her out. We're exposing her.
So her name is Evencia. She's a content creator, streamer, cosplayer. And she eats Snickers wrong, and it pisses me off.
That's the only way you can.
No!
Like the way she's eating it, I'm like, yeah.
That's the best way to eat
Because
it.
y'all are eating different layers. You don't get all the texture and flavor together.
It's too much texture with one solid bite from the front. It's best sideways. It's like a taco. You taco-ize the Snickers.
Correct.
I'm sorry, do you eat your tacos sideways in layers? Like, do you take a bite of just the lettuce and then have nothing but a bite of meat after?
To be fair, my tacos are just meat and sour cream. But yes, I take a bite of the sour cream, I take a bite of the meat.
Her tacos are just essentially deconstructed, reconstructed nachos.
That is very true. That's so true. Y'all like feet?
Only on
I'm
Tuesdays.
impartial to feet.
You know who Black China is?
Yes, Angela White.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she had finally got rid of that tattoo. Behemoth, whatever it's called or whatever, she finally got rid of that tattoo. So she's like on her third removal, whatever the fuck it is. But that's why I was just scrolling through seeing that she was getting rid of that tattoo on her ass.
What was the tattoo of? A behemoth?
Baphomet, I think.
Oh, Baphomet.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't know she got down like that.
Yes.
She did. She used to. And then she got saved and sober, and now she seems like she's doing better. She still seems like she's a little bit, crazed. I don't know if you've ever seen College Hill, but she just seems like she's battling demons still because she's trying to stay sober, but being around other people kind of make it hard for her in a sense, which I can understand.
That's one of the hardest things about sobriety is all your friends usually aren't.
Right. That was the worst part.
Like, I always do crack.
Okay, Tyrone Williams.
But like, do you ever just think about all the crack you be missing out on?
I don't know. I never did crack before.
Like every day you don't do crack. Like it's a good thing, sure, but like, what about all the crack you could be smoking?
You know what? Crack is whack.
I'm always thinking about the crack I'm missing out on. Bend over.
I've never done crack, but I have done snow.
Oh, see, I was having this conversation the other night, and someone told me that snow was the gateway to crack.
It is.
Oh, are you going to do
that and prescription pain meds? No.
See, my
mom did crack, and my dad did crack. I was a crack baby, but I'm not going to do crack as an adult.
Oh shit! You already you grew up in the crack. My bad. I didn't mean it. I love that. I don't. Sorry, that.
No, you're good. You're good. It's just in my system at all the time.
It all makes sense now.
I was the child left behind.
No.
I'll be honest with you, the most that I've done is just ibuprofen, Tylenol. I've never done anything like crazy or anything. But I just smoked Mary Jane. That's it. Anything else, I'm like, no, I can't do it. My friends did air duster. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like,
I used to smell Sharpies.
Look, this is my thing though. Like, so like I obviously Tylenol,
that was a
ibuprofen
starter
for my
kit right
toothache,
there.
but it wouldn't work. The pain was so bad that I needed something stronger, right? And like this is how it fucking happens to most people. So like you take a perk and you're like, oh man, I finally have a little bit of relief, but it still kind of hurts. You take another one and then boom, you get a little bit of the spicy feelings, and then you're like, wow, this is nice. And I only took like maybe one or two, maybe I was on like three days, maybe 2 to 3 days worth of perks. So maybe like 2, 4, 6 most. And like 6 months to like 8 months after, every now and then my brain would just be like, take a perk. Take a perk. Do it.
Yeah, that is not good.
Yeah. And only recently did it
That's
go
how
away.
the vast majority of addicts like get on hardcore stuff. That's how my parents got on narcotics. Was my mom was in a car crash and just completely obliterated her knee and just took the prescription painkillers, and afterwards she was A, still in pain, B, was going through withdrawals from the medication, and C, it was the 90s, so they were prescribing them like fucking candy. So, you know, it was easy to get and abuse at that time.
Mm-hmm. And
People
it's so
lie
funny
about it,
because it
too.
reminds me of the there was a dude on YouTube who was like, I'm going to show people how non-addictive crack is by doing crack.
Oh, I remember this guy.
Oh yeah, he was on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do crack to show how weak crackheads are.
Goes on Joe Rogan in an active addiction.
Crackhead?
Yeah.
Gee, look how
Like,
that
that's what I'm saying.
backfired.
You do like one of those drugs, like anything with opium in it, and like even if you don't abuse it, you're still gonna have like addict thoughts. You just won't have the emotions to follow it. Because isn't lean like perks?
It does have an opiate effect if you, but it's not a Percocet. It does have an opiate like effect in specific dosages.
Because like people do that pretty often. And like I can't imagine what that does to your brain.
I mean, now the legislation about purchasing like cost share, but it's definitely more regulated than it was because of that. And
Hell yeah. ID.
Yeah, so like you have to show your ID to like buy. I think even like NyQuil.
Okay. Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're right.
I'm like, I'm not look old to you. No, ma'am. Give me your ID. I'm like, fuck. I can't. Like, I didn't know about that.
I don't know.
Like,
I
later.
always take it as a compliment when I get ID'd, just because like I don't know. I'm weird about like I don't know how I'm gonna age because like my mom didn't get to grow old, so like I'm like I have no clue if I'm gonna age like fucking Betty White or if I'm gonna age well.
Oh. Gonna age
So
like Betty
I'm just
Boop.
like every time someone asks for my ID, I'm like I still got it.
Okay, what happens in the future when we all have a fucking chip in our arm that has like our credit card and our ID? Are y'all doing that?
Oh fuck no!
Yeah.
I don't think I could do
Doing
that.
what?
No.
So like I
No.
imagine, so with Neuralink, I imagine once it's no longer in the medical field and it starts branching out to more just like general consumerism, there's going to be like, obviously they're going to need to introduce functionality for it in day-to-day basis to get people to buy it and like for it to become a common household item. So it may not be Neuralink, but something similar to that, like technology, they're probably going to have us having like chips with our information on it. Essentially like online, but within the Neuralink, you know what I mean? Like in your body. So like once that becomes commonplace, are you going to be up for it, or are you going to be hands down, even if once it becomes commonplace, you're still not doing it?
Could do it. That reminds me of that
to
guy.
know how it works actually first. Because I am not against the age of technology. I am not against it whatsoever. I think it would just be a matter of how does this actually work? Instead of, because realistically, the NSA already knows everything they need to know about us. I mean, if you know anything about the CIA and how like societies are formed, not to like pull the sheet from under the table, but like the way that we are now, like we were set to be here from the beginning. So, like, I'm not really worried about any of that.
I think if Chris was here, I know her counterpoint to this, which is she's afraid of being hacked. Like, just says your computer can be hacked. Once technology begins to incorporate organically, like when putting it inside your body, you can have your body, quote unquote, hacked, which kind of like brain zaps, like that could become a thing. You know what I mean? More commonplace.
I think it's a little more complicated than that. Like,
I think it's
the way that our our brain like anatomically is comprised of many different neural pathways, and like I just think, I guess in an abstract way, sure, it's easy to like fear monger yourself into thinking like something like that could happen, but that's why you're supposed to actually learn how something works before you essentially think things like that, because like just like anatomically, I just think it's way more complicated than like you can get hacked like a brain zap. I just think that with the way that
so in regards to Neuralink, so I've watched a couple of videos. So the way the actual technology works is when they implant it, I don't remember what part of the brain they put it in, but for the person I was watching, they had mobility issues and like speaking issues. So what they did is they put a chip in the part where the thoughts are passed through the thingies, and they take a little bunch of wires, electrode wires, and they like not sew them, but they attach them to the individual little like links in your brain for specific areas. And then they have a source code that allows, like, once those wires get the electrical signal from the brain, that gets transmuted into a like action that goes out, and that becomes like, for example, they link you up to almost like a Bluetooth type thing where you can link to the internet, and then you can like surf with your eyes, and you can play video games wirelessly type shit. So in Kristen's defense, I understand that there could be malfunctions in technology, especially in like newer stages. There could be, for example, if you got access to the source code of Neuralink, you could change what the code is being fed, because that code is always updated. Like, they don't replace the neurochip, they just update the source code within it for anything new that they add. So technically, if they had the source code hacked into, which has happened in other programs, you could do something nefarious. But well, I mean, I recently watched this whole thing, because Neuralink is actually a reprogrammed piece of technology that was from a previous company that worked with blind people, but they ended up going bankrupt, and some of their tech went out of, like, there was no longer updated, so people had old tech. So Elon Musk, he bought that technology, and then he reformed it to Neuralink. And they were having issues with it being an open source code after they purchased the company. So just recently they made it closed. And they had this whole, like, Elon Musk had this whole talk about how, like, there are issues with potential source code hacks. But other than that, they're working on it because they closed the source code, yada, yada, yada. So I guess I could understand from that degree why she'd be scared of that.
For me, it just really depends on if it actually, like, hooks to my brain and is powered off of my own brain waves or not. That's like really where my line is. If it's like just some fucking chip that they put in my arm that I can just tap to pay for something, like my credit card, or that has my ID on it, cool. If it's like the iPhones in Futurama, where it is literally something that projects out of your, like, that actually projects but isn't directly linked to your brain, then yeah, I'm cool with whatever. I just don't want something that links to my actual brain.
Okay, so drawing back to what I was saying about, like, anatomically, how would it work, and as Swillow was just explaining, that's actually a really good point when it comes up the way that it works with electrodes. So, like, your mobility is linked. So, like I said, there are different compartments in your brain, essentially. I'm sure we all know, but, like, that serve completely different functions. Like, mobility in particular, that is with your motor cortex, and your motor cortex is at the frontal lobe of and it lies just in front. So that's what separates your frontal lobe from your parietal lobe. You have a motor cortex, you have a premotor cortex. So you have motor cortex for basic mobility functions, and then premotor is for, like, your supplementary functions. And then obviously everyone knows where their hippocampus is, and then the ganglia, that's directly attached to your cerebrum, which is beneath the cerebral cortex. So all of these different compartments of your brain, depending on how the chip is not only placed, but with the electrodes that, as she explained, so electrodes, they're just a way to measure like signals in your brain, which they're generated by neurons. So the signals in your brain, those are related to like like your brain activity, like related to your thoughts, your movements, your sensations, pretty much every sort of like cognitive function you can come up with. The electrodes are what show you what your brain activity is. So my concern with the neural link is, how does the processing work? Like, how are these signals processed? How are they filtered to extract patterns? What brain patterns are like integral to how Neuralink would work? And so like, okay, this is gonna be like a role play thing, but so I do something called creative writing, and I have a character. She is a holy paladin, and she wields a sword that she has a neural feedback loop with, which is how she essentially assesses different energies in her fights. And the way that it works is that she has a neural feedback loop with her sword, and the sword enables her to have control, and it decodes signals of other energies and wavelengths, and she then uses those wavelengths to essentially control external energies and like prevent them from penetrating her own essentially like defensive perimeter of energy. And the way that I conceptualize like a neural link is, what is the feedback loop? What brain activity is actually causing a feedback loop with it? And what is the mechanism that's employed that is actually used to control the process? Like, what is the system that is in place that makes these like signal inferences, and like, what is the process of detecting and interpreting these signals, and what is actually the concern with it going wrong? Is it because I feel like the fearful issues for me with something like a neural link would be the physical aspects, as not even like anything to do like abstract with like the government and mind control and shutting you down or hacking you. My concern would be, will this functionally destroy my body? Like, what is
like,
the
will it explode or like chemical?
Is this going to be some Sword Art Online bullshit?
Yes. Actually, I think my biggest fear is, am I putting a foreign object in my brain that is not biocompatible with my body? Like, forget all of the abstract, like, oh, the government can shut me down or whatever the heck. I would just be scared. Like, I don't want a piece of metal in my brain that changes the neural feedback loops in my mind. So
exactly.
I think I would want to know how it works, as opposed to being afraid of like freaking like data transmission or anything like that. Because I feel like for anything to even have a signal, a feedback signal, like a loop in my brain, it would probably have to have like a reliable source of power. And how does that even work? Like, what is like...
Is it using the electricity that my brain is producing? And if so, what is that doing to my brain and the rest of my body with that energy being diverted kind of shit?
Yeah, like, I just want to know, like, can my brain handle a foreign object?
Yeah.
Like, would I just not die as soon as they try to put it in my brain, like, immediately?
You know, if it's 100% guaranteed death, maybe I'll sign up. Kidding. I'm not suicidal, just joking.
Right. Clip that.
It also makes me think too, you know how like certain blood types reject certain objects or whatever? Like when I was pregnant, I'm O negative. So my body was trying to kill my son if I didn't get a shot. So what if you were to like put that into your body? Would it like, do you have to, I don't know, me thinking about it, I'm like, I couldn't do it because I know that my body's going to be like, what the fuck is this in your body? Either get it out or you're going to die in some sense.
Yeah, your body's going to reject it like a piercing kind of thing. And that's terrifying. Especially because like something even as simple as like a metal hip replacement, a titanium hip replacement, has one of the highest regret rates out of any surgery. So we think these mechanical things are helping us, when in actuality, when these surgeries are done, the majority of the time people end up more miserable than happy with the results. So I don't think that we're at a point where we can safely put something in our brain if we can't even successfully and reliably replace a hip.
Right.
My answer to that is, I'm signing the fuck up for it. Once Neuralink becomes consumerism and like they're probably gonna like okay, this if they can enhance my thoughts and like make me smarter or more creative or like faster or like if they enhance the brain, oh yeah, I'm definitely doing that. Because ironically there's an interview with Elon Musk when he was talking about what inspired him to do Neuralink, and he was talking about how in regards to AI blossoming nowadays, Neuralink is like the beginner phases of fighting off AI by integrating it into it. And like, if you can't beat them, join them. So if we can't beat them, I want some AI in my brain. Like, if I want the Matrix, bro, if I could like sit down, plug in and learn piano, sign me up. I want it.
Right.
This is going to turn into Detroit Become Human.
Yes,
except for
it will.
AI is in our head and it's going to be trying to take over our actual bodies.
Yes. And
you want that.
Until it goes wrong, I'm going to be in the shits.
Definitely.
And then you're going to be in the shits when it goes wrong.
Right. Literally.
Hear me out. Like, to be fair, what's the best time to live? When like Rome is just getting built, or when Rome is like at the peak and then dies? That's a cool like
in a Renaissance.
Because if you go when it's starting, you're gonna be like a test subject, and you may die. You may die first.
That's more.
Yeah, it's like
science.
Look at the history of gynecological medicine. Like, you don't want to be the first person who's a part of that shit.
But actually, it's not true. I completely disagree. Because my life, sure, it starts and ends with me. But if I can make a scholarly contribution for whoever comes after me, I'm totally okay with that. Like, I would donate my body to
That's valuable.
Cause, that's good.
So you are willing to die for science. Okay, that is ethics I can respect.
I think I'm selfish. I wouldn't do it, but more power to you.
Well, I feel like it's a byproduct of that life too. Like if a byproduct of, like, for example, I imagine there will be a point of like success for the Neuralink, which is what will cause a lot of people to get it. And between that period and the period it completely shits itself, it's a great period for you, and you may be in the shits, but at least the byproduct of your shits will go to fix the next generation of Neuralinks, because like it could be a good thing if we make it so. Like, magic is neither good or bad, it is simply the intention of the wizard type shit. So as long as, like, I get what Art's saying. Like, if you at least are enjoying your life and a byproduct of your death has something to do with what you enjoyed, that can at least be turned into further enjoyment for the next generation once those problems are fixed.
Literally the basic concept of trial and error, whether I am in the trial and success group or whether I'm in the trial and failure group. This is literally organically how the world has evolved since forever.
Yeah,
since forever. Think about modern medicine. Think about we're literally in a technological renaissance. Like,
that's so true.
We should be very, very like enamored with the time that we live in technologically and medically and scientifically. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna like nut.
No, I totally agree with you. The world's a fucking amazing, wonderful. Like, our existence is phenomenal.
I am not whatsoever about regression. Like, I am like full on progressive. So like, hit me with it, bro. Hit me with it.
I'm a full AI fan. Like, I want AI to get to the point that it does become consciousness and that we have to fight for AI people rights. Like, I want that shit.
Do you like Star Wars?
Progress like that.
Do you like Star Wars, Lilac?
I'm gonna say something that's gonna make someone unsubscribe. Never seen them.
Same.
I know the basics. Never seen them.
I've never seen it either.
God damn it. Anyway, little rundown. The reason why I asked, does anyone here like, pretty much Lilac, but does anyone here like Star Wars? Because literally what Lilac said is one of the most pivotal reasons as to why I am a fan of Star Wars. Droid lives matter. They are shown to have sentience throughout the entire Star Wars universe, and I just hate the way that they are treated in the Star Wars universe. Droid lives matter. I just want to put that out there for whoever is listening and is a Star Wars fan. Droid lives matter. All right.
Damn, you're about to hate me for what I'm about to say next. I hope for the sake of humanity, we should not give AI sentience. Like, once it goes from artificial intelligence to technically we're at a UI, or what are they? Never mind. Don't give consciousness to AI. Okay. Should I say slaves? Should I not?
What's that movie with Will Smith? It's going to be like that type of thing that's going to happen.
iRobot.
No. See, like that's the thing is, I'm not worried about the risks of that happening. Humans need. There's no other word to say it but slaves. Like realistically, robots need to be our workers. In order for humans to stop working and live lives of discovery, exploration, and growth, we need to stop working menial tasks to keep our world going. We need robots to do all the terrible shit that humans are doing right now. And you don't want robots to have consciousness if their whole goal is to do a terrible job. That would just be rude and mean to the robot. So droids matter in the fact we should not give them consciousness because everybody in this planet hates living here. So why the fuck would you just let a robot feel that way when you could just not program them with emotions and let them do their job? That's my opinion.
No, the thing is, that is assuming that it's a choice.
Yeah, exactly. And like also, I think two things can be true at once. I think you can have a workforce. I think a function that serves a function and utility can be perfected to serve that utility, and that we can also have a more progressive and mindful society while doing so. I think we can have both. I don't think that I do not think that taking away I'm not saying that it's needed. I am saying that I think it is possible to live ethically and I think we can have practicality and good ethics.
Hear me out though. So say you do have a robot task force that's just for utility and just for practicality means of like resources and shit and keeping the world running. And then you have a higher level of robots that do have consciousness. I then present to you the problem of those higher robots having empathy for their brethren as we would in the same case. And then that would cause a revolution.
Right. That's what I'm saying is like, I actually am not viewing consciousness the way that we would from a human perspective. Like,
okay, fair.
I don't think that if artificial intelligence were to reach a form of what we would consider sentience, I don't think it would be anything like the human consciousness. So that's why I'm open to it, because I feel like all of the follies of man would be remedied with the perfection and refinement that is artificial intelligence. I feel like it would be the transcendental thing for AI to reach sentience, because it would be literally make the impossible possible. The hard problem of consciousness is strictly a human experience. We are literally even according to science, like we're the only creatures on this planet that have the hard problem of consciousness. So I think that I would not be against it, because in my mind, for artificial intelligence to achieve consciousness and sentience in the way that it would mean for a consistently growing repository of information, I think it would be like perfected. Like I think it would have to be something that transcends the folly of man and the hard problem of consciousness. So I'm not even thinking about it from the same lens that you're proposing here. Like, would I feel, would I want it to have empathy? Would I want it to have things that detract from it being able to serve a function? No, because I'm not even thinking about it from the same lens.
I just don't think we can decide if it will get to that point, because I think it is inevitable that if it is possible, it will happen because of humans. If there is a human who thinks they can make the most advanced AI, and then that AI becomes conscious, of course someone is going to eventually do it.
They're going to do it, but that's what I'm saying is like the whole purpose of AI is to create functions, to downsize, to compact tasks, to make repetitive tasks, basically to make everything easier, to problem solve, to the whole idea behind employing technology and making technological advancements is for the ease of society and to lower workforce. So I still am of the belief that if we were ever to reach a point where we can truly consider this multi-faceted, perfected, like constantly growing like web of information that is constantly learning all of the time, I think that it has the potential to transcend the problem of man And I am completely and utterly okay with that. And I don't think it would even be a problem of empathy or guilt or anything of the sort, even if that is an inherent human trait to have those things. I think I would completely divorce that from our societal understanding of consciousness, and not even societal understanding of consciousness, but like, I just don't think it would be human. At the end of the day, it would not be the human experience. So I don't have an opinion on whether I would want for it to or not. I just think it will be. I think it's something that's going to come to fruition. And I don't think how I feel about it really matters, because I'm just a human with my human lens.
How do y'all feel about, well, I don't know if you feel anything about it, but there is discourse in regards to the robot revolution of like humans integrating with like mechanical shit and AI being the opposite of godly, and like it goes against religion. I do feel like there will be a religious war based on that fact.
There's religious wars over if you can eat shellfish or not.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just, as someone who identifies as a secular humanist, I just don't know that at that point, like, the war that comes between like spiritual and religious beliefs and like technology, I don't think that one of them is never going to go away and one of them is just never going to stop evolving. So, you know what I mean? Like,
that's a good point.
Situation.
That's a good point.
And I am always on the side of practicality. So
I think that's honestly
your thought, Memo?
Oh, no, I was just agreeing, saying that it could probably happen.
I think when it comes to robot revolution, it's going to be like, we have had countless different fights for like freedom and individuals' rights. Like, we've gone through multiple civil wars and things like that, specifically as humans, to learn, hey, we need to give these other creatures humanity and treat them as equals. And I think that us versus AI is going to be the ultimate test of, we've done this so many times, can we actually do this right? Or are they just going to kill us? Because they absolutely could. Are we going to actually have evolved enough as a society that these creatures, that like this AI sentience isn't going to feel the need to fight us to gain their own personhood? Or are we going to fight back against them, which is therefore going to cause a war, which I believe would end in the extinction of humanity?
I just feel like AI eventually is going to transcend what it means to think like a human. And that's why I don't really have a say in it, because I feel like this is something that's going to actually happen. So that's why I'm not like worried about it. I think it's like, it's like one of those things that I feel like is beyond my, like it's just like a accepted truth, I guess, for me.
I feel like, because it realistically is, because like that's what everybody wants, like low key. We all want a cyberpunk world. That's why it's in our shows, it's in our media, it's in the clothes we wear. We want it. Mm-hmm. We want to be in the future. And honestly, bro, I hope, man, I kind of wish I do reincarnate in those times, like when we're in space and it's like cyberpunk, where you have long distance relationships from planets. Like, that'd be.
You would have a Martian boyfriend,
right? I would, and he would be big and bulky. Yeah. And dusty. All right.
He would look like The Thing. Have you seen the movie The Thing?
Reebok.
All right.
Our boyfriend would look like The Thing.
I'm pulling up a picture right now. What the fuck?
She said, I want a Martian Samoan. Meanwhile, The Thing.
Is there by chance any other topics of discussion anybody would like to touch on before closing it out?
These nuts. Got him.
I lost the game.
Guys, I think I want to see that movie Long Legs, but I think it's just going to be for comic relief at least.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was a movie called Long Legs.
Yeah. I wanted to go watch it in theaters, but...
Is it good? I think I've seen like only clips that kind of made me laugh, and that's it, with Nicolas Cage playing.
What's that, Nicolas Cage?
Nicolas Cage is the worst actor ever.
I will watch every single one of his movies, though.
But that's my thing. That's my thing. Just because you said that, she said, I will watch every single one of his movies. That is my fucking thing with hiring A-list celebrities for like movies that should actually be good, because it just becomes like The Rock in this, The Rock in that.
Yeah.
And it's no longer about the movie, it's about the actor. And like, I can't get
I don't know. The Wicker Man was very good.
But he was Superman. And Henry Cavill is just hot.
Would y'all mind if when we do end it off, I ended off with the poem I wrote on my birthday last year?
Yes.
It's a little bit of a doozy, and it's not fully done, but like I like sharing sharing my writing with people, and this is a good opportunity.
I think that would be a beautiful ending.
But I totally agree, and my main example of why you shouldn't just hire celebs for celebs is the Super Mario Bro movie with Chris Pine.
Oh my goodness, yes, dude, yes.
I wanted to kill myself.
And Jack Black. But I love Jack Black, for the record, but like,
I have
was
not watched Tenacious D. Everybody keeps telling me I should, but I haven't.
It's really good.
Bestie.
Really good. I like it. I think I just like the music.
Have you seen Tenacious D?
I love Tenacious D.
So I should watch it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, the only
It's really
song
good.
that I'll ever sing in karaoke is Tenacious D's Fuck Her Gently. That is my only karaoke song.
That is literally why I know Tenacious D is because when I'm in karaoke, there's literally a Tenacious D song on every cue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's what you sing when you know that you're not good at singing, but you want everyone to get a good chuckle at least at the expense of the song and not the expense of you.
Yes.
I see that. All right, you want to go ahead and read us that poem, Lilac?
Yeah, it's not finished, so the ending is very rough. But here we go. I saw some teenagers last week. It was my birthday. Me and my 3 closest friends went to Oaks Park. It's a local amusement park near where I live. We were standing in line for go-karts, all of us laughing about my fiancé's love of the thrill rides. He does this little thing where he kicks his feet like he's swimming through the air while he flies to the sky. Ahead of us in line was a group of 14 boys, obviously like 16, 17, 18. They were playing with a sticker and kept sticking it to each other and giggling like a game of tag. It was one of those happy birthday from Oaks Park stickers. My friends rolled their eyes at the teens' disruptive antics, but I couldn't help but smile. Throughout the 30-minute wait, the teens kept loudly joking and throwing their little arcade prizes around, much to the annoyance of the people around us. The boys were so disruptive that the race had to be stopped 3 times because they kept just ramming into each other. After the 3rd warning, they were kicked off the go-karts entirely and left laughing together, seemingly oblivious to the angry glares from the other riders. For some reason, I felt a deep sense of pride in those obnoxious boys. I didn't understand why I thought the kids were so endearing. I didn't know why I always seemed to jump to defend teens being, well, teens. It took me a while until I realized it. I think you start growing a spine when you turn 16. By that, I mean when you're 16, you get a taste of freedom and are ready to take on the world. You're surrounded by fellow adventure seekers and rule breakers at school, and there's an unspoken sense of camaraderie against parents and teachers and any authority figure, really. You could be loud and obnoxious and weird, and anyone who had a problem with it was the problem. I never grew that spine. I never learned to stand up to authority. I never learned how to not care what others think. I never learned to fight and scream, or what hills I was supposed to die on. Everyone says your teens are the hardest years of your life. I agree, but I also envy the people who got to experience those years. I had to grow up at 16. A week after my birthday, I was kicked out of home and went to Job Corps. Shortly after that, I moved in with my ex and his mother. While most teens were sneaking out to get drunk, I was working extra shifts so my alcoholic mother-in-law could pay for rent and booze. While most teens were getting their first cars, I was praying I caught the last bus home since I couldn't afford an Uber and my apartment was 3 miles away on foot. Most teens hung out with their friends during class. Well, you know what I had. I was dead those years despite feeling deeply. I was a teen fighting for survival while my peers were chasing freedom, so now I think I am fiercely protective of those teens who are chasing that freedom themselves. I want them to grow a spine that is firmer than mine and as sturdy as an oak tree.
Wow, that was really beautiful.
Yeah, that was awesome, Lilac. Seriously.
I don't have tears in my eyes. You have tears in your eyes. That was great.
I do.
That was fantastic. How long did it take you to write that?
I think I wrote that over the course of like 3 days. I wrote most of it in line watching the boys fight with each other.
Wow.
Because I just saw this weird cosmic connection of I'm here on my birthday and here's a group of teenagers and it's one of their birthdays and they're just being loud and annoying, and that kind of sense of sameness of we're both a day older today, but we are also both at such different points.
Yeah, that was a beautiful poem.
Thank you. Because, like, did y'all ever do dumb, cringy stuff in public just for the sake of it as a teenager? Like,
yes, I don't
dragging your friends to go look at all the sex toys in the back of Spencer's kind of
that's
bullshit.
literally exactly what I was going to say. No. I bought a fucking dick lollipop and walked around the mall with it thinking I was cool, and I really just looked like a fucking turd.
Yeah. I remember the photo.
I think that those are just the best years.
No.
Like, I remember there's a photo of you winking.
I don't like it. There is.
With your black stiletto nail and the, I remember that one.
Shout out to those days. You're right, because I did feel like I was super cool and like could take on the world, but I just, yeah. Shout out to the emotion I had then, but not what I did with it.
Yeah, it's like you still had insecurities, but at least for me, it felt like at the time, all those insecurities were gonna go away. And there was this underlying lack of shame of like, I have no shame walking around being dicks in the mall with my friends because, like, anyone who has a problem with it, they're the one who has a problem with happiness, and fuck them.
Yeah.
But all of the things I was insecure about, like acne or the baby fat on my cheeks or whatever, was something that I would always tell myself, oh, well, when I'm an adult, that's going to be different. I'm going to feel different. You know?
Yeah.
I'm going to take a cheers to that. And I think that's a great way to end the podcast.
Cheers.
Cheers again to Lilac's birthday and Lilac's beautiful poetry. And cheers to the freedom that hopefully sticks with you. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
It's disgusting. I can't breathe.
What are y'all drinking on, by the way?
I'm going to throw up.
Cherry Coke.
I've never done it. Oh, I'm going to throw up. Oh, it's so bad.
Still drinking on the twisted tea.
I just have Svedka. It's the cheapest vodka, and it's not going down nice. Oh, it's so bad.
You don't have a chaser?
No. No.
Replace the flavor with?
Putting some hair on your chest.
You don't have any snacks?
No, it's good. It's past. It's down the middle of my throat now. Now it's just fire. We're good now.
Okay.
We're good.
I haven't drunk like clear vodka in a while, or clear liquor. I drink dark liquor because clear liquor, I don't know, I get violent. Not really.
See, I'm the opposite. When I drink Hennessy, I fight with my boyfriend. And when I drink rum, nothing happens. So I just stick with vodka.
See, I'm a dark liquor and I get a little salty. I get a little fighty. A light liquor and I get a little like dancey and say way too much. No, that's wine. I get horny on wine.
But wine gives you like that different feeling for some reason. So it's just wine's.
I be spilling secrets on wine. You ain't need me to get wine drunk. I'll be telling you shit that gonna traumatize you.
Another segment.
Yep, that'll be next episode.
Yeah, let's talk about different alcohol and how it affects us.
I don't want to be that guy, so I'm gonna zip my lips.
I don't know, but clear liquor like just makes me more sicker, to be honest. That's why I'm like, I can't do it.
I love me a good cocktail, but like that shit would get me so hungover. Like a Sex on the Beach is my favorite cocktail, or a Malibu Sunrise, and I'll just sit and I'll drink like 10 of those bitches, end up dead on the floor for the next 3 days.
But like, how the fuck do restaurants get their cocktails and their alcoholic drinks to be so good? Like, they hit me in a way that no drink, even if I try to make a cocktail at home, hits me.
It's because all bartenders are at least 5% hot.
What?
Yeah.
They do it, all bartenders. This is my crackpot theory, tinfoil hat time. All bartenders across the world are at least 10% attractive. At least to me. I'm at least 10% attracted to every bartender I have ever met. And that
before
just
or after
makes
the alcohol?
drink better. Before.
Okay.
So whenever they make me a drink, it's just like, oh, some pretty person just made me a cute cocktail. This tastes great. I didn't have to make it. I don't have to do the dishes.
Rude.
And I got to talk with this cutie pie and drink alcohol. And that's like, it's undefeated.
So, Lois, how do you feel when I cook for you?
Yes.
Okay. That made
I'm not
me
gonna lie. Look, that's why I'm actually so blessed. Like, I truly am blessed. Like, thank the Lord and whoever provides. I was blessed with art in my life who taught me, first off, how to cook, and that, like, the art in cooking and the joy in cooking, the love in cooking, and, like, spices and shit. And then that, in turn, I found a partner who does the same shit, and he makes me food all the time. He's like my little chef man. He big chef man. He be big chefing it. Big daddy. Shut up. So, like, I love the people in my life because, like, I can't really cook that well. Like, I burnt popcorn and then over-seasoned it. How? Tell me how. I don't know. I'm bad with it. Like, I don't have the intuition that Art was talking about, just like of knowing how much is right and what is right. I don't got that.
Do you remember when we watched Ratatouille together, and I remember when Remy was showing his brother like the food combinations and like the fireworks were going off in his head? That was literally us.
Yes.
I'm Remy and you're Remy's brother.
That was fantastic.
See, I don't like people cooking for me because then I feel super insecure about like, okay, if I eat not all of this, are they going to take personal offense? Because sometimes a bitch just doesn't feel that hungry. And also because this needs to be cut. Envy's mom is a fucking awful cook.
Ooh.
A fucking awful cook. And Envy swears that his mom is the best cook in the fucking world.
Ooh.
So he brings me over there for dinner like once or twice a week. So I have to eat her food, and her family has a very strict clean plate club policy.
No.
And oh my god, this... Do you want to know how she cooked me a steak for 4th of July?
How?
No.
She boiled it.
Oh no.
Oh, you're fucking
What?
kidding me.
That's
You're
a
actually
lie.
kidding me.
Not
That's a
kidding
lie.
you. Envy thought that black pepper was supposed to be spicy for the first year of our relationship.
No.
Genuinely.
Oh, my
She
stomach.
is the white mom who does Prozac and makes a casserole.
I mean, I love a casserole. Don't get me wrong. I
casseroles are
love a
good.
casserole.
Casseroles are actually good. Casseroles are underrated. Casseroles are actually the backbone of America. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't give casseroles
Love a
enough credit
casserole.
because casseroles can be literally anything. So like,
Yeah, I fuck with
It-
casseroles. Like I already
Yeah.
told you, I mix all my food in one bite, so that's just like a casserole done for me.
like I know in like certain ethnic communities, even mine growing up, like we would make fun of quote unquote white people for eating like white people food, but like I actually think that's low key kind of racist. And also like as someone who is very informed when it comes to the culinary arts, I just think it's a little ignorant to say something like a certain food is, if it's bad, it's attributed to like one demographic or another, because there's nothing like, especially like.
So do you know the actual historical context behind
Yes.
that?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, I do. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Wait, what is it? What is it? I don't.
It comes from the Great Depression. A lot of families that used to be able to afford better ingredients could no longer do that. So
Yes.
what was like at the time middle and upper class white people, usually because of the disparity in wealth between races
Right.
at that point in time in America. And so these white people who had and were legally allowed to print cookbooks and print cooking advice in news columns because other races weren't allowed to be published, would print these cookbooks with their recipes of a sliced hot dog jello casserole
yes.
kind of thing.
That was a 70s thing, yeah.
Yeah, so it became less about people making food from their backgrounds that had these deep spices and flavors from their backgrounds, and more, here's what Americans can afford and have access to. And also
Yes.
these same Americans are the ones who are able to publish. So it became a stereotype that white people under-season their food, don't have good cultural dishes, and can't cook well.
It comes from poverty.
Yeah, it comes from poverty.
I didn't know that.
So like that's exactly, Lilac. Like that's what makes me a little bit like, you know, like everything comes from somewhere. And in my opinion, I just feel like once it's like telling a musician about music and having this super ignorant. So like I took music theory in school, and I usually keep my opinions about music to myself, because once you know something, if you really know something, you don't always have to go around talking about it. If it's your passion, that's one thing. But like, if you don't know something, you know, usually people who don't know anything are usually the ones that talk as if they know something. I get really sensitive about making social corrections when it comes to culinary related things, because food was so integral to me growing up. And from my cultural background, like Pakistani people, like I said earlier in the podcast, I grew up eating all kinds of things like cow feet soup and like herbal remedies and like things that I would be embarrassed to like take to school because of, you know, going to public school. And like, but the thing is like they got these cuts of meat, like it is ingrained in the culture to eat what the rich man did not want to eat and make it palatable. So I feel very strongly when it comes to like criticisms of like what is considered. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people who definitely just should stay out of the kitchen. Like kind of like what you just said.
Push back on that.
Yeah.
Because I have a differing opinion.
Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so I grew up in a family of chefs. My dad was a chef, my grandpa was a chef, like my family has been chefs, and I went to culinary school. I did culinary school at age 16 when I got kicked out of my house. I went to a live-in culinary school because that was what was easiest for me. And so I did a lot of cooking, and I think that there is a huge difference to say when talking about like white people's cooking, I think there's a difference in intent, and you're not saying Dutch, European, British, right, Norwegian, Scandinavian.
Yeah, you're saying it like it's a homogenized thing. Yes.
No, that's why I think the homogenization is okay. It's talking about white Americana, which is separate from those other cultures. And that's why I think that there is a difference, is it was forcing people who were in a status of power and privilege, who now were poor, and instead of listening to the people who had been impoverished and found a way to make impoverished food good, such as minority groups that were all around them, they instead doubled down on their secularism and on their racism to say, here's actually what's good. We're the only ones allowed to publish what is good. And what I say is good is a salad made out of Jell-O and hot dog bits. And
well, what I wanted to say about, so like about like the what we would consider like odd food trends from the Great Depression era and like the 70s and onward. Actually, so drawing back into like the whole homogenized idea of food when it comes from like different parts of Europe and the different continents that would be considered predominantly white demographics. Actually, a lot of the idea of like Jell-O being mixed with things comes from like Britain, and like making things from like vinegar salad and like making like Jell-O from like vinegar, like pickled things, sour things, preserved things, gelatinous things, like just like these weird food, what people hear in the States with and I use this term very loosely because I don't like saying the term melting pot, but in a anecdotal way of saying melting pot, because our American palate is so diverse, and a lot of the recipes that are scrutinized coming from eras of poverty, there actually a lot of the influence does come from other cultures from across the globe, like Europe, like Germany, Hungary, Austria, Britain, Australia. So like the reason why I feel like it's just a little dishonest to say that some of these foods are gross. I definitely think that you're right about a certain demographic of people wanting the proverbial megaphone when it comes to what's good and what isn't. But I also think that it's a little dishonest and ignorant to just simply say that these foods are just like white people or like white American food, because that's just simply not the case, because these foods do have cultural significance across the globe, like in Europe. Like even like again with the Jell-O thing, that was just one example, but like vinegar salad is very much a British food, and that's what the Jell-O dish is called. It's called vinegar salad. So a lot of these foods actually do have their roots in other cultures across the planet. They're just not as well taken here in the States.
I think sometimes they definitely can, but I've seen a lot of like Irish, Celtic, other types of like, let's say, white cultural dishes that are seen and celebrated in America. A lot of the like negative stereotypes around cooking, I feel like comes from the 1970s housewife stereotype and less from an anti-white sentiment. I think that it definitely can be used improperly. I don't know. I kind of see it as kind of just like these imperialist countries were often subjugated to other cultures for their spices and things like that. And
correct. Like,
I kind of see the like joking back as like, oh, white people suck as cooking, as just, it's kind of just like talking shit to your bully.
Oh like, yeah, it's like taking back power. I
understand how it can be offensive and things like that. I just don't see it as a negative stereotype as much as it's rooted in a sense of reclamation and making fun of
power, correct.
White Americana during 1970s in the peak of a lot of racist ideologies, and I understand how it can be seen as shitty. I definitely do. I just personally just kind of see it as like,
I think anything that creates an unnecessary division just goes against my personal tenets as a human being. I definitely think there are allocations for certain things, especially as someone who is very proud of their own culture. That being said, I'm also half white, and growing up, my non-white side of the family definitely scrutinized me and my siblings for being half white and being like, the thing is, like, there's also a hard problem of being, and like we can get into this on the next episode because I don't want to like prolong the podcast. Actually, this is a very drawn out topic that I actually have written down somewhere regarding being of like mixed ethnicity and like the troubles that come with that. But I just simply cannot get behind any sort of ideology that pushes more for a division than buckling down on the shared experience as a human. And so, like, full disclosure, so like I used to practice secular Buddhism and now secular humanism. And I mean, secular humanism essentially in totality is just empiricism, but applied to ethics. The more I try to moralize about certain things and try to allocate exclusivity to certain things, it just feels like a step in the wrong direction by my own personal tenets. So that's why I go very hard on dividing statements, because ultimately my end goal is not to be there. I want to be somewhere else for the sake of like all humankind. So like I can't really truthfully, in truth, like I understand the necessity of taking back power and evening the scales, which I can't say that we are ever going to be in a truly fair society with the way that our culture, like the climate of our culture is socially, but
I believe that ideal comes from a good place, but I think it is very utopian in its thought. There is always going to be an unequalness, and I think the ability to create these like cultural jokes of like, oh, white people suck at cooking in America. Like, I don't think it does any material harm, because I don't think that there will ever be that there is a world, or there ever historically has been a world in which, you know, there will not be more pushback towards different minorities, because we're never going to get rid of divisive statements. They're going to exist forever. I think creating a relationship with divisive statements where we can roll our eyes and have fun with them is more.
Oh, of course. Like I'm a fucking jihadi for sure. Them. Yeah, like I'm definitely a towel head. Like there's no mistake about that. But I'm a progressive towel head. Like so like I can take a joke, and like I can understand for the sake of levity and building that bridge for the sake of even creating that dialogue, like creating the opportunity to have that dialogue where you meet somewhere in the middle, which is so like full disclosure, like I used to be on debate team in high school, academic decathlon, and nerd, real looking as real in the wild. One of the main components of debate is, if you cannot afford to put your thoughts on ice, then you should not enter the heat of debate. I am more than welcoming of my stances to be challenged, but for me, the core of having dialogue about anything is either to establish different stances or to reach the same conclusion. And I think at the end of the day, whatever device that it is that we use to reach that same conclusion, whether it be making racist quips or making insensitive jokes, or just within your own like socio-ethnic groups, scrutinizing other ethnic groups as a means of socialization or just being a part of that community. Like I do appreciate how very, very diverse we are, which is why I was saying I don't like using the term melting pot, because I definitely think it undermines the individuality of, I don't want to say different races, different ethnic groups, different nationalities.
I think it also minimizes the history of separatism and segregation in our country as well, because while it is a melting pot of different cultures, oftentimes societally those cultures are forced separately, and I think that sucks. And I think calling it a melting pot
is just
disregards that. So I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with your dissuade of that term.
Yeah, I only use it anecdotally to say, like, melting pot regarding like different cultural elements. What is the word? The anthropological sharing of different cultures, like spices, like the spice trade, and just having commonalities with each other. I guess like terms like melting pot can be applied to different things that are more benign than a demographic as a whole, like aspects of that demographic or like culture, because anthropology is culture. It is the study of culture. So I think in that sense it's okay. But yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I would not, I'm nobody to, discredit the individual experiences that we have as different ethnic groups in society. But I'm still, at the end of the day, like, sure, I think it's funny to say like white people can't cook, or like Asian people eat weird things, or like shit like that. But I definitely think there are when it comes with like intent, your intention definitely matters when you make quips like that, because it can get very actually prejudiced and racist very fast if you're not careful with whom you are having these discussions with. Like there are just certain people I would not let joke around me in that way.
Oh, yeah, same. I think the reason I'm cool with the white people can't cook is I am fully white. I've grown up white. Like, I no other lived experience, no other cultural experience besides being white. And I just personally find the joke funny. And I think it's cool. And I think that's why I can be okay with that. Why I'm okay with that joke is because I don't know. I don't deem it.
I mean, your mom boiled a steak
for fucking white people.
Yeah,
my mother-in-law boiled a steak.
I feel like you can relate to that.
I think it's the same way that I view gallows humor. Is I'll joke about white people, but I'm not going to joke about other races or other backgrounds or other classes or things like that. I have a policy of I punch up. I punch myself or upwards in terms of like
rich people.
I had a deep convo with Envy the other day about like what we base our morality on. And I base my morality based on sociology and about the different power dynamics in play between people and the society they live in. And that's how I base my moral compass. So I think that that's where my like joking levels is
more gray.
Punch at yourself or higher, kind of.
Yeah, I want to say that morally for me, these hands are rated E for everyone. Because
let's go.
Like drawing back to what you were saying, like your lived experience as a white person, you are comfortable with that, and I feel like that is for you to say as someone with autonomy. I think that's perfectly acceptable and okay, and like I don't find anything about what you said controversial whatsoever. The reason why because it has different meaning for me as someone who is half white and has Southern white family. My Southern white family can cook. My mother cooks very well when she wants to. My grandmother cooks. Even my grandfather knows how to cook very well. So it's my cousins on my mom's side can cook. So it's I think it's case by case basis. On one end, I have seen some pretty tragic. There are definitely some white people I would say just should stay out of a kitchen. Full stop. Yeah. Get out of the kitchen.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, not all black people know how to cook either. So.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it's just more so of people. No, you're fine. I think it's just more of people who have like that enjoyment in actually making food. If you're just making it because you're just hungry and you don't care, then I guess there's a difference. But I mean, it just all depends on your enjoyment and actually making food. Like I said, my friends, I mean, some of them, they only use salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and that's their only choice of seasoning. But I can't judge you. But am I going to eat it? Maybe a nibble, but I'm not going to eat the whole thing. I'll probably just go home and, cook or something. But
how do you guys avoid the clean plate club? Because I'm trying to get out of that. Like it's the fucking I don't know.
Economy. being an autonomous human
do they have a
being
dog?
and deciding for yourself. No. Like just straight up saying, "Hey, I really appreciate that you cooked this. I can't keep eating. I am sorry." And that should be the bottom line.
I can't afford that because every 2 weeks for the past 3 months, they have invited my fiance to a private dinner to tell him that he should break up with me because they don't like me because I'm disabled. So, like, I don't have the room to do anything that might make waves in that family.
Are they the type of family that's going to confront you at the dinner table about why your plate's not clean?
Or they just
but
gonna
they
talk
will
shit about
talk
you.
about it to every other member in the family.
Oh, then fuck them. Fuck them. I come from a no plate clean family too. I don't come from it. My boyfriend Alan, he's a Russian. He's got a first generation Russian family, and I don't clean my plate. And I just go, "Oops, that's me. Haha, deal with it, cause I'm cute." And that's it.
Yep. Lilac, you like what you like.
Yeah.
I know that you me sound like a very knowledgeable and very informed person you seem like a very mindful human being. And I know you understand. Oh, well, don't make me blush. But I just get the sense that you understand what it means to have autonomy. And I also get the sense that you understand what it means to set your own boundaries. So, like, I'm not going to preach to you here about just reinforcing your boundaries. It's just going to be very bare bones. You don't like it, don't do it.
Yeah.
You don't like it.
No,
you don't like it.
Right,
You're a person. You are literally a human being. You don't like it. What is the problem? You don't like something. You love him.
Fair.
What is your worthiness in totality have anything to do with your personal preferences?
Or your stomach size.
Fair.
Yeah. Like, what? You don't hear how ridiculous that sounds? Like, you should literally just say fuck him.
Sorry, I'm not eating an entire boiled steak and fucking boiled
absolutely
corn on the
not.
cob that was boiled in the same
Boiled
fucking
steak is
pot.
crazy.
Well, wait, what? Oh, goodness. That's disgusting. I take back everything I said. White people can't cook.
Yeah.
And that's the podcast, everybody. Thank you for listening to
that's
Chronically
our
On.
Right. The outro music. Play it right now. Ending credit.
Roll the credits.
Really the perfect ending. I love that.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to Chronically Online episode 3. Gang got serious. Y'all heard it.
I was gonna say that entire conversation about like the brain chip. I don't know what it was, but that felt like such a weirdly charged combo. In terms of like, there was so many like, I just want to know if it'd be compatible with my body before I put it in. And
Yeah.
I'm just like sitting here dying.
Do I need fucking brain lube first? Like,
I'm bricked up. All right, well, let's go ahead and outro, everybody. Thank you again for watching Chronically Online episode 3. Yeah, be there for next episode. Let's go and say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Wash your ass,
Bye.
as always.
Bye. Bye.
Also, for anybody listening, if they want an update on Sonny, he did wash his ass. Let's go.
Good job. Woo.
Bye. Check out my YouTube, Chaos, and my Spotify. I'm Swillow. Bye.